Yeah, brilliant. Okay, so what we're going to look at now a little bit to do with learning anatomy and physiology. The aim of this session or this short lecture is so you can be aware of the different techniques you can use to help you learn anatomy and physiology. And as always, a mix of learning activities is better than just one. So doing one only is not going to help. So a range of different activities that you prefer or like is best. So we're going to look through library and online materials, labeling, about your own body, learning a language, mnemonics, flashcards, quizzes and puzzles, test yourself and some crossword puzzles. So a range of interesting different things you can do. There are quite a lot of things, great ways to learn anatomy and physiology. So there's study skills for campus. There are quite a lot of online skills and resources. The one we've got here, unfortunately, doesn't always transfer from screens. There's a one called Anatomy and Physiology, How to Learn Anatomy and Physiology. Make sure you know where to find things, library books, e-books to download or read. Do use study skill resources, they're very helpful. And also, when you use a library, you can library plus search, find everything in the library as well as journals. That's very useful. Don't forget, if you've got any study skills issues or problems, there are study skills resources in the libraries and also study skills advisors. So you can actually ask an advisor online for help support with particular issues. Labeling. Drawing and then labeling helps fix terms in your memory rather than trying to learn by rote. You can either scan illustrations from books, remove labels with a photographic tool like Photoshop.com, Photoscape, or Microsoft Photo Editor, or you can download images from the web like Google, Creative Commons. Some of these might already be without labels, so they're worthwhile using. Example, muscles of the forearm. That's a Creative Commons search. We can find free resources. And that will give you sources like those, muscles and things like that, worthwhile looking at and labeling. Just going to quickly switch to labeling books to show you something different. Let me do it. What you'll find online in the bone section is the osteology workbook. So the idea behind this one is literally a PDF that can be downloaded and printed out, and you can then literally label different things. Here they've got histology. Here we've got a joint that's developing. So different features to look at and using your textbooks. And it has labeling for complete skeleton, shoulder and limbs. So literally all these kind of things have a range of things you can do to actually label different parts of the body and different bones. I'm going to move back to my other things. And also another one very similar, a different format, is each section has similar things to one like bones, but it might be other format. This one's about respiratory system. And again, simple things like the chest and the ribs for labeling, parts of the larynx, parts of the mouth and nose, the vocal cords. So once you've listened to a lecture, then have a go at the labeling book to help you learn about different aspects. So very much adding labels is a good way to learn about things. Going back to my slides. The one little very book that's quite useful to have is one called Living Anatomy. Nice about this one, it shows lots of muscly people. It was developed by Lockhart, and he worked in Edinburgh, and they had a lot of acrobats and boxers, and they photograph them because of their the lines of their muscles. So quite interesting to see how muscles work and develop. I think the last time I looked, about 79p online. So by the time you got postage, about £1 or so. By the time I got shipping, but it's a fun book to have, to look at and see different things. And here's some examples of drawings and diagrams. So it's showing muscles live on the body, rather than the more usual illustrations and drawings. The important thing to remember is that if you do have an exam on anatomy and physiology, you've got your own test body you can look at. Look at yourself, well, whereabouts is it on my body? Or where is it? It can help you learn where parts are in terms of anatomy and physiology. And one here showing the effect of the muscles being strained, flexing against resistance. This muscle here you can see is the that one there is the sternocleidomastoid. So it's attached between the mastoid process to the back of your head just there. If you feel just the back of your ear, behind your ear, you can actually feel the mastoid process. And here it's attached to the sternum, this part here, the clavicle, hence the sternoclavicular mastoid muscle, or they call it now the sternomastoid. And here you can see similar things such as stretching muscles, seen from muscles in place. Latissimus dorsi, teres major, a lot of funny names of muscles. There's no way you're going to be able to learn all the names of muscles, so don't try. Obviously, the major muscles we would like you to learn, but you can't learn, even I don't know all the muscles, and there's something like 512. I'm not that sad to go about learning all of those. Nice diagrams with muscles. This is the tongue. This is a diagram, an illustration from an online resource, which is very helpful. It includes lots of anatomy pictures. It's in fact an old version of Gray's Anatomy, and there's some quite useful pictures online. Glossus comes from tongue. Learning the language. Every profession has its own language, and anatomy and physiology is no different. Often called nautical terminology, also medical terms, medical terminology. Many terms are in common use, others appear obscure until you look more closely. Often there are Latin terms, and they're often used and words that communicate their orientation, position, and function, sometimes all three. So look here, this is kind of a word cloud of muscle names. Flexor, obviously flexes. Longus is long. Brevis is short. So a lot of these kind of Latin or Italian words, or ones for music, for example, brevis. Adductor, it means it moves a muscle to the body. Ad is to. Ab is from. So you get abductors and adductors. We'll look more about that when we come on to joint movement. I'm not going to, it might be quite fun to do this quiz, but not at the moment. So we do use quizzes. One of the bones in the hand is called the lunate, hence the moon. The bone in the foot is called the navicular. Things like the quadriceps or bicycle, they think about the biceps, bicycle and biceps. Delta, you get a deltoid, is a delta shape. I can't remember what that one for. Some of the dice, four things, quadri things. I think I need to remember what my quiz was about. Mnemonics. These are sequences of letters or numbers designed to help you. Yep, 9 is definitely triceps. Well, good one, that one. Scalp has become a name we recognize, but it's actually a mnemonic. And there are actually whole pages to do with mnemonics. So if you go online, this website's available through a link, and you can look at that. Scalp, for example, is from superficial, which means the surface, to the deep, which is deeper in your body. So when you actually look at some of these operations online, skin connective tissue, aponeurosis, loose or areolar tissue, pericranium or periosteum. So that's near along, that covers the bone. So mnemonics are quite useful. Flashcards. You can buy flashcards that help you learn, or you can create your own set or buy ready-made sets. That's also why things like Quizlet, there's another one besides Quizlet called Study Blue. You can actually create your own flashcards online or use ones that other people have created. The idea behind the flashcards, as we saw with Quizlet, is that you get, as you begin to learn things, so your scores improve. And there are specific apps for using flashcards for A&P, and these are okay for phones, tablets, and also on the web as well. Flashcards, the idea behind that is that you can use them on Kindle as well. So if you've got a book on Kindle for anatomy and physiology, you can create your own flashcards using Kindle. So that's worthwhile doing if you like using free resources. Actually, for some things, I actually found lots of free quizzes online for anatomy and physiology for the Kindle. So I'll put some of those on as well in the reading lists. That one was the names of bones, the Quizlet. Things. We use quizzes and puzzles. For example, some of the quizzes online, which of these photographs show the clavicles, and it's that one. Those are radiuses, and those are rib bones. What is the name of the bone? This one. And the answer, of course, is the femur. So we use a lot of these to help you as you go through things. This is the free online quiz book that's available through Kindle. It's got crosswords, other quizzes, word searches, you name it, and it's available online. You subscribe to Kindle already through Amazon, it's free. There are ones like this in a thing called Sporkle. I don't know where they get their names from, I must admit. Sporkle.com, games, subcategory anatomy, and you can have a go at naming the bones or linking them in with as you go through. Gluteus maximus, vastus lateralis, lateral. Basically, all it means is big lateral muscle or vast lateral muscle. Again here, big glutes. Yeah, so test yourself to learn. Multiple choices, word searches, crossword puzzles. They're quite good fun. There's actually a live one online as part of the learning resources. So do have a go at that, or try creating your own. There actually are programs online that allow you to create your own crosswords. What can be quite good fun, I'm a bit sad person if I think it's fun, is to make your own crossword and then send it to your friends. If you're all making these can't call it now. My brain's gone dead. So on the chats, if you're doing chat things, you can always make one for your friends and colleagues and send it into the chat to share it. So do think about ways of doing that. And here we've got quizzes, surveys. We'll also use, what we often use are mini competitions as well. So we either use things like polev.com to put through competitions on lectures and quizzes, things like that.